guys, I'm here today to show you around our new camper. There's a lot of new videos that are out there. There's also a lot of people who are starting camping, and you have a lot of little short videos. And as of the years of researching everything about a camper, I was kind of leery about, did I forget something? Did I not know to search something to be able to find a video on a certain product that I didn't know anything about? So I'm going to run through our camper. So I've got some new friends who are going to start camping, so this video is also for them. So sometimes I'm going to be saying search more information about this item. There's a lot of great detailed videos. So this video is going to be a little bit longer, but I'm just going to kind of run through a lot of different things when you're either setting up, things that you buy for your camper, and so forth. Let's head over to the other side. So at a campground you have a breaker box, and your breaker box usually has actual breakers inside of them. And sometimes your units will be a 15 if it's a pop-up. If it has AC unit, one AC unit is going to be a 30 amp. 50 amps are usually about 2 AC units. So you need to be able to have converters just in case you get to a site that doesn't have all of the different options available to you. So our unit is a 30 amp. So we're able to set up for this one. This campsite KOA actually has a 30 and a 15 available. This right here is going to be one of your most expensive items for a camper. It's your surge protector. They run anywhere from about $100 to $350. They also are app capability, so this one runs off an app that kind of tells you what's coming into your unit and so forth. This is a must. They also have lock systems that you can buy and purchase because some campgrounds apparently these are walking off. So that's your breaker box. So you're going to want to get what's something that's called a dog bone. I'll show you one later that has the capability of my wire, which is a 30, going into a 15, which is at home, so I can charge my unit at home. Also start the refrigerator from home. I usually start my refrigerator the day before. Refrigerators in campers are notorious for taking forever to cool down, so go ahead and start it the night before if you can at home. So I need something that's going to hook up to my 15 amp at home, which is a dog bone that goes from 30 to 15. If I'm at a campsite, it's possible I'm only going to get a unit that's got a 50 amp, so I need one that goes from 30 to 50. So I've also got that in our camper. So let's go over to our water source. Here I've got a Y splitter. So I have kids, I also have a dog. So this is just plain water hose, and I've got the on-off valves. I've also got a pressure regulator. It is very important to have a pressure regulator. Campgrounds have high pressure. You don't want them blowing out your PVC piping, which is just put together with some little clips inside your unit and makes a horrible damage, cost a lot of money. So right here is our pressure regulator valve that's hooked up. I like the Wise device because I don't have an outside shower, so it helps to be able to wash the dogs off, or I can also fill up his water bowl. Now, what we've done is we've added a quick connector here, so it's easy for my kids to help connect our water. You're also going to need a marine or RV water hose. This is not a regular water hose. This is an RV drinking water hose. You also want to make sure that you keep it in a spot where it's safe and it's not around anything contaminating that you're storing in your unit, like for your waste. So we'll go over that. Let's go back over to our unit here. So water in the campground isn't necessarily safe to drink, so you want to get a water filter. Make sure you hook it up correctly. If you notice this says flow, the water is flowing this direction. This particular water filter I got off of Amazon. It came with a pressure regulator since I didn't have one. Also comes with a little extension tube. When you're putting the system away, it does hold a lot of water. I do try to shake it out and shake all the water out of the hose. They do make a hose that's very similar to the blue one I showed you. That's for RV water safe hoses or water. I do like that a lot better than this water one, just because this harder one, because trying to coil it up, I've got a big clip that I purchased off of Amazon that holds this together so it doesn't uncoil in our storage unit. But for right now, I already bought this one. I don't want to have to spend more money after I saw the other hoses that they have. Now, I have an L coming off, or an elbow coming off of this unit. That way, this wasn't tying in here and it wasn't pulling down. The other thing I have is a quick connect. So it's easy to pull it off and snap it back in, and I'm not doing wear and tear on the actual unit. So I've added this elbow, and then I have a quick connect here. This elbow stays on the unit. Every time I go camping, I'm hooking the water up, on and off. I don't know how to replace the threads that are inside the camper, so I want to put the least amount of wear and tear on that. So that's why you get an L, and that way everything's flowing nice and easy. It's not putting any more wear and tear on your camper than it needs to have. Over here is our hot water heater, which is run off of gas. LP is what they call gas. You get an LP refrigerator or LP an electric refrigerator. When they say LP, they mean propane. So one of the things I want to point out here is this anno rod down here. If you can see it, ours is a little rusty. This anno rod is a stick of magnesium, and you can get a special adapter to get that off. You want to check that about 2 to 3 years. We'll check ours every year when we winterize it, only to see how much corrosion it has. The water and the elements in the heater, the water heater, are going to corrode. So they want to attach to the magnesium rod so that they're not attacking your actual water heater tank and corroding your tank. So that rod is in there to save your water tank. So make sure you're checking it every year, but definitely replacing it about 2 to 3 years. It's about $10 to $15 to replace it. Doesn't cost a lot of money, saves you a lot of time, wear, tear, and maintenance. A tip for a refrigerator. Now they're calling for rain out here, so I don't have my refrigerator units opened, but since the refrigerators and RVs don't work very well, it's awesome to take this off, allow more air to get to your coils in the back of your refrigerator. You can also get a little fan that puts up here that blows air across the coils so that your refrigerator is working a little bit better. But since they're calling for rain, I'm going to go ahead and put this back up. Alright. Our unit actually has a cord inside. It stores it, so you don't have to have an extension cord. So ours actually has a really nice cord storage that already comes with it. You want to have a cord that's about 15 feet. We're really close to the hookups. You notice we're about 10 feet or so from the water. Sometimes even with wastewater, you can be 25 feet. So you want to have extra just in case you need it. But I love having the cord already attached. Sometimes you just have the adapter right here and you actually have to purchase an extension cord for your unit. This line here is our cable. So most campsites have cable hookup. This is not something that comes with your camper, so you do need to have a coax cable. This is our wastewater connection tube. It's a Rhino, which is one of the best ones out there because it's corrugated, but it also holds its shape versus other ones that may look the same. They don't actually hold. They'll actually move or just stay out. So this one compacts and stays compact, which is really nice. Now on the back of a lot of RV campers, they have this on the bumper for storing it. However, I want to caution you, if you put this away wet, now this one hasn't been used, that's why I don't have any gloves on. If you put this away wet, make sure you take it out when you get home. If you have water that's staying in here, it can rust out of the bottom. And so there's stories where your little friendly tube here has been lost running down the road. So take it out if you can, or just take the caps out or caps off when you get home so it's getting more ventilation. That happens to be our extra one, just in case we need it. This particular campsite doesn't have a hookup where we're sitting at. We have to use a dump tank, and our other tube is over there. Down here, this particular unit is called a hybrid travel trailer. These are stabilizations. They do not level your camper. They cannot support the weight to level your camper. So they just make it so that it doesn't rock as much. I put blocks on the bottom of mine, thinking about if you have an arm that's extended and it's trying to stabilize it, the bigger the angle, the more support it has, and it doesn't shake as much. So if you can get these so that they're not completely extended, it helps with just a little bit of the shaking. Our camper happens to shake a lot because it's small, and we've got 2 kids and a dog. Somebody's always moving. The bumper on the back of your camper really isn't made to hold a lot. So do some research if you want to add a grill or a shelving unit or a rack or a bike rack of some sort. Do some research just to make sure it can hold it before you do any type of damage to your unit. We've got some levelers here, and you also want to make sure that you get some chocks. The orange blocks that I was using underneath our stabilizer can also be used as chocks. I just found that I needed more, so I went ahead and got these. You also, again, get the chocks. We have a single axle. Some dual axles have like a chock that you can get inside the center. However, I've seen this season where people have purchased them and their wheel diameter and spacing is different and they can't use them. So make sure you have one that can actually expand to different sizes, not one that just has a block and a block and it's just supposed to fit in there, because I've seen a lot of people, their wheels are spaced apart too far and that's money down the drain. So with this, if I'm going to go ahead and need to level the camper prior to unhooking the camper. So when you're first getting it set up on your site, you have to level it left to right, and then you unhook the camper and then you level it back to front. So use these. They have 3 different levels, sizes that you can actually do a level. You want to make sure that your camper also has levels on your front of your camper so that it's easy access for you to know how far down and how much you need to use as far as driving your camper up on this. Here I'm going to show you a quick tip. We do have a box fan for our dog. I've seen some people when it's really hot at night or use them to sit in front of to cool off. We found it works better at getting the gnats off the dog. So we do have a box fan. This has come in really handy. I started putting together things that we're always going in the camper for so we can stop going in the camper. So we've got a snack drawer here. This camp trip I actually had bought too many snacks, so we've got a snack bin down there too. I've got a first aid kit, so if something does happen, which most of our injuries happen outside of the camper, I easily know where to go and I'm not trying to dig for everything. I'd highly recommend getting burn cream. We have actually burnt ourselves a couple times, and it was just happened to be on the Instapot. And then you can get these cool packs where you squeeze them and you've got an ice pack already. But it's got our suntan lotion, our aloe, some other different things. I go a little overboard on our first aid there. This drawer has our cups, plates, napkins, and also our silverware. So if I'm cooking a lot outside, I don't have to go back inside to get all of this. And the kids can actually help me with it because they can pull on the shelf. Here I've got trash bags and I've got a lot of the dog stuff. So our lights, our leashes here, and some other things. If you're going to bring an animal camping, dog, I highly suggest these. This is a LED light, glows, it may be hard to see, they come in different colors. He wears this at night so that we always know where he's at on the campsite. We also have a Mace brand night beams. So this happens to be a lighted, blinks also, leash. Very important at night. Comes in really handy when we're trying to walk our dog right before bed. But this we absolutely love. You can get it on Amazon. It's USB charged, and it lasts, I think it lasts like 2 camp trips before we had to do it. You can just cut it with scissors to the length you need, and this is awesome. We know exactly where he is because our dog actually is pretty good. We just let him loose on the campsite. Alright, here we have some plastic levelers too. I happen to use 2 because of the weight of the trailer. In this particular campground, we have to lower the trailer so much. We have our wheel taken off, but then I don't want it going through the ground. So I have that there to help stabilize it. You can have wood if you want. Our blocks happen to be too high, so we have these that make it a lot shorter. So we have those two different options that we also carry with us all the time. Over here is the weight distribution. So if you happen to see these on a trailer, right here's the trailer hitch weight distribution, and this is for your sway bar. So if you see those attached, usually means that the camper has that, and hopefully they're also going to sell that for you. Now, lately, campers have been walking off. People have been stealing them. So you can get a tongue lock. Now, want to make sure that one is at least 2.5 inches wide. This is not a tongue lock. Our tongue lock we only use when we're at home. So I bought a smaller one and it didn't go around this little area right here, so I had to buy a bigger one. So make sure you... So I'm going to show you a few tools that are very handy to have. This right here is, I love, it comes in handy so much. It doesn't have to be an impact wrench. You can actually get just a regular drill. Get an adapter, and I'm sorry this doesn't have the size. I can't remember what size it is. But size yours up, and you just need to get an extension like this. And then what these are used for is your levelers here, or your, not your levelers, again, not your levelers. It's easy to go up and down. It is loud, but then I'm not cranking, so I love it. Definitely handy tool. So in our toolbox, we've got some tools. Some of the things I've never had to use before, but I've always had safety precautions, so someone told me to always have a mallet. Some other things that you're going to need, I've got another leveler if I need it. I've got some big wrenches, some tape if I need to redo. The anti-rod on the hot water heater. Fuses. You should have at least two of each of the fuses that your unit takes, just in case those go out. Amazon sells like gigantic boxes of them, but just take a couple, put them in here. But we've got some other different tools. You can look online and some other videos and see what other people use as tools, but have a toolbox handy just in case you need it. Earlier, I was talking about the clip that I have, Mega Cup. This is what I hold my water tube with so that it doesn't end up, my hose doesn't end up unraveling on me. So, and I also have this basket, it's seen better days, but the basket is good for all of my water stuff goes in here, so that I just take the basket out. I have all my water stuff. You want to make sure that you don't store anything that is sewer related, your black and your gray tanks, in the same area with all of your water hookups. And watch some videos for how to hook up your tanks. Some pop-ups just have like a portable tank that you can move to a dumping station. We don't actually have it hooked up, so I'm going to leave that part out. But there are some great videos out there that can tell you how to hook it up, safety precautions, what to do, have gloves, all that stuff. Just make sure you get a Rhino tube if you're going to buy a brand new one. Earlier I talked about dog bone. This is what they call a dog bone. Has some grips on it so you can easily pull it out. Also allows it, if anybody wanted to steal it, walk off with it, you could tie it down. They're not too expensive. This one, 50 amp, goes to a 30. So if we get to a unit or a site that's made for a larger camper, I can hook up with it with no problem. This takes it down to what I need is a 30. So get a couple of these to make sure that you have a 15 for your house to a 30. If you only have one AC unit, or if you have a 50 or two AC units, you may have a 50 amp. So it just depends on what you have. Make sure you get the correct dog bones for that. Those are available on Amazon. Here in front of me is just some treatment solution for your black tank, which is your toilet water. Mine, I just dumped these in with some water. The one thing I learned that I didn't realize was the case until watching videos, luckily I didn't have a camper at that time, was you don't want to drain your tanks until they're full. because if you're just draining little pieces out, they can get stopped up really easy. So you want to make sure that your tanks are pretty full before you drain them. That's just a tip there. Also want to make sure that you get special RV toilet paper. Toilet paper needs to be able to be broken down so it doesn't stop up and doesn't get stuck in the hoses when you're trying to dump your tanks. If you get some toilet paper and you're wondering if this is going to work, go ahead and put it in like a Tupperware container with some water, shake it around. If toilet paper dissolves, you can use it instead of having to buy just the RV type of toilet paper. For this particular unit, we do not have a flush system to be able to turn on a valve, and there's actually inside the black tank, it has like this spinning water flush system. I have a rod that I've purchased. I'll show you that in a little while, that I stick down in the tank and that flushes out my tank when I'm actually dumping it, and tries to get all of the debris and kind of cleans it out. So next time, or while we're storing it, it's not so smelly. Something I forgot to mention before with your wastewater tube is we purchased this Rhino adapter that hooks up to our camper. It allows us to see what's coming out of the tank. Rhino also has a clear one that actually goes down in. So on this side it's clear. I can see what's dumping into the tank. But this helps me to see, before it gets stuck in here, what's coming out. The problem I have, my unit is so low, I can't use this. So don't go buying this unless you know that you're going to need it or that you can use it. So this is what I was mentioning before. This right here, I'm not going to touch it, but this goes down into the black tank or into my toilet. I've got water hose going in, and it cleans out my tank while I'm flushing it. So this is a really good wand to pick up. You can get them at Amazon. Camco, C-A-M-C-O. I'm going to show you their logo. They make a lot of camping and also marine products. So if you're kind of looking for something, look on their website for what they offer. For parts, you can get a lot of ideas of different things that may be useful for storage, for all kinds of stuff. You may not want something that they have, and for lights as an option, you may be able to get lights cheaper. Camco products are sold on Amazon, so you can purchase a lot of their stuff from there, which is what I've done. Another tip, walkie-talkies. So my kids walk off, they're playing, I don't follow them all through the campsite. I love being able to tell them, hey, dinner's ready, but they can also get a hold of me if anything's going on, without me having to worry about, is there cell phone service in this area? Because some campgrounds, there isn't. So walkie-talkies. These are done by Wish House. We got 3 different colors, and so far they're working pretty good. The lanyards they had, not so good, but we like these. They also have a white or a light on them. They have a lock feature, so that my kids aren't going to be changing the sub-channels on them, and because they have sub-channels, we have no interference whatsoever on anybody else hearing our conversation. So great option and choice. Think about how you're going to dry your kids' clothes. So clothesline, great option. I particularly don't like the one we have. Let me show you. We got it on Amazon. I don't know the name of it, but this is what it looks like. And if you notice, we have to use all of the cords or it untangles like I just did. So don't get this one, but definitely think about how you're going to dry your kids' clothes off, because they're either going to go in the river or go in the pool. It's great to have this available. Here's the tip for backing up your campers. Some campsites have pull-through campers or campsites, but a lot of times those kind of are first taken. So my tip to you is to try backing up your camper at home with your partner. A lot of times they move differently, so depending on the size of the trailer, it's going to turn at a different radius and degree. So I do all of the parking of our camper, and my husband is my spotter. I have my 10-year-old son that is also a spotter. My 9-year-old son stays in the car, and he's not allowed to talk. So that helps with me being able to not miss any clues or cues from my husband and my son. And one of the things that works best for us is actually communicating, where my husband says other direction, so I know which way the wheel is. It's easier than him saying right or left or straighten it up or something like that. He says turn, which direction I need to go with the wheel, and then he says that's good, keep coming back. He may say we need to straighten it up now, and then move it the other direction, keep coming back about 5 feet. Communication's crucial, along with prayer. So make sure that you test and try backing up your camper at home with your partner, so you both can get a good communication going and what works best for you. There are some great videos out there that can teach you more about backing up your camper, and some tips. I definitely recommend watching some of those. These are just some things that we didn't hear on videos, and our communication kind of worked out well. It's high stress when you're trying to back up the camper, so you want to try and eliminate that stress when you're starting off your vacation. And I see a lot of people trying to back up the campers, and the partners and couples are really yelling, and so makes for entertaining for the rest of us. So hope you enjoyed this tip. So our bathroom does not have a vanity or storage. So something I got, which is pretty awesome, is this off of Amazon. Stores our toothbrushes. Has some cups here if we want, but the toothpaste is right here, and you just pull this out, push this in. It automatically puts toothpaste, a small amount of toothpaste, on your toothbrush. I'm not going to do it right now, but this is so much easier at night instead of pulling these out, pulling the toothbrushes out, where to store them at and everything. So I highly recommend this as an item to get if you have kids, and also if you don't have any storage spaces to put any of your toothbrushes. So great item, found it on Amazon. Take a look. One of the things about cooking inside your camper, it gets really hot. So the other thing that gets really hot is lights. So try to get LED lights, light bulbs replaced. These particular units, you pull out from the sides and a little plastic thing comes out. And these bulbs, if you can get a closer look at them, probably can't. These bulbs you like pull out, they're really weird. So here they are. It's actually a little hot touching it. They pull out, so but it cuts down on the heat. It was unbelievable how much hot heat was coming in just by having the regular light bulbs. So go ahead and get some LED. It'll help, one, with efficiency, but if you're at a campground, I'll put that one in backwards. If you're at a campground, you're using somebody else's electricity, but it helps the environment, also helps keep your camper cooler. So again, you put these up and then go forward to the center. Something that worked out really awesome is these lights are up here, too tall for my son when he goes to the bathroom. So something that I got was some motion sensor lights. I've also got these down here in my cabinet. So I have it hooked up to the wall, motioned, came in, got these off of Amazon. They have like 30, couple different settings for how many of the LEDs you want to use. They're bright. So you have 10, 20, or 30. They're motion sensors. This right here is sticks to the wall. It has a magnet. These are USB rechargeables, but I love it for underneath my cabinets. Being able to see, I don't have to turn a flashlight on or anything. They automatically turn off. Check this one out. I love this one. My son's too short to reach the light. As soon as he opens the door, it automatically turns on for him. It's also not so bright in the middle of the night that it's waking up everybody. And if you happen to be in there too long, you just kind of shake your head and it turns back on. There is a light in here. It makes it brighter, but having this attached and it being an automatic light has done wonders for a house. So much easier too, because I don't have to hit the button walking in the bathroom. It turns off in about 10 seconds or so. So another great addition, great item to use. I used a lot of command strips throughout this unit since space is kind of limited. I found in the heat the command strips kept falling off when we were at home. So I think I'm going to wait till the winter and try putting them back on. If you've got any suggestions on how to keep those suckers on, please comment below. Let me know what kind of tips you have. Also, if you have other tips about camping, maybe I missed something. I didn't talk anything about, the water heater, how to plug that in, and some other things. Now, those things you can look up how to start your stove, water heater troubleshooting, because there's a lot of valves on the water heater, and backing up your unit is very important safety, and checking out the site before you even get onto the site. So there's some great videos out there that have all of that information. But as far as what you need to buy, what is, entailed in your purchase, and kind of putting everything lumped together in one video, it's kind of what I've done here. So, but if you have any other suggestions for other people, please comment below. If I was wrong about something, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know so that we, can help others. If you have any questions, leave those down below too. I'll try to get those for you. And happy camping! Congratulations if you have a new camper, and if you are still searching, I really hope that your blessing comes soon. So thanks for joining me today. I want to thank my husband for videoing me, and sorry for the mess. It is hot and humid, lovely camping weather. So take care, guys. Peace and blessings. Thanks.